Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. And so, in today's episode, people, we're going to get into our episode 8 on the series. In episode 8, we're going to be talking about respect, a man's oxygen. And so, this one's going to be, as I always say, people, a very interesting topic up for discussion today. So, I want you to think about something for a minute, and I want you to be very, very thoughtful, respectful, transparent. We all need to really understand the direction we need to. But a man can survive without praise, which they shouldn't, but they can. A man can survive without luxury, which of course they do want like nice things, but they can survive without it. But you take away respect, ladies, from that man, and you've taken away his oxygen. And what I want to dive into in today's video is the respect manner in which the men need to be shown. So let's look at why respect even matters to men in the first place. Respect isn't just being nice and courteous, it is an essential thing for the men and the families to evolve. Could you imagine that for men, respect is often tied to their identity, dignity, and purpose? Let's really think about this because the men who don't have a lot of are not as respected as the men who have a lot of. So if you want to look at this in real time, look at the way that a woman responds to a man who has a lot of money versus a man who doesn't have a lot of money. Then start looking in your different communities, your Hispanic community, African American community, Caucasian American community. Start looking in European American community. Just look in these different communities and just see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's going to begin to make sense. You're going to start to see it unwind. The respect. Men are going and choosing other women out here from other communities. For example, African American men are marrying Caucasian American women. They're marrying South American women. They're marrying Eastern Asian women. They're marrying every other woman except for Black women out here. But as I look at more and more of these videos, what I'm seeing is the way that they're respected in different communities, in different type of women that they are choosing. This is now beginning to make sense. And in this whole series, I've been giving tidbits and tips I'm hoping that there are some female content creators that are doing similar content where they are educating the women on things that they need to change and what they need to modify to become a better version of themselves from the feminine perspective. Under the same token, I'm hoping that there will be more men YouTube channels that will basically help guide men into becoming better versions of themselves and really getting down to them on things that they need to change as well. When you can change it on both sides and you merge them together, then this respect thing, it goes from being just nice to actually being essentially engraved in the minds of people. See, this is one of those times where without it, even love feels incomplete. This is so simple. Like, it doesn't cost anything to give the man respect. And the hidden wounds that are out there is many of us walk into our workplaces, we walk into relationships, we walk into church, we walk into the grocery store, and even walk into our own families and feel unseen because it's like nobody absolutely cares. They don't care about how you feel or what you think. But that will change. Not that it has to change. It will change because I have to speak that into existence. But when that money stop, when the man's contributions stop, then that's when everything, you may begin to see things change. But their contributions go unnoticed and their efforts go unappreciated. And over the course of time, as you go through this, what you will see is the lack of respect chips away at confidence. It's so amazing being able to be out and about sometimes. And for example, and I always like to use live examples that people can actually go and reevaluate and see from whatever community that they're in. But you can look at, for example, like I like to use the example of the Hispanic men, and regardless of whatever things they have going on in their relationships or who they're married to, their wives are a lot of times right there with them. If they are out on a job site working for something or making a little extra money, their wives are there with them. Their wives are cooking for them. Their wives are like much more respectful from what we just see from a visual standpoint. And that doesn't talk about what goes on behind like closed doors and everything, but the fact that no matter what job that man has, he has to have respect. It doesn't matter, ladies, if he's executive vice president or chief financial officer of a financial firm, or he's a janitor at the local school cafeteria. When you respect that man, he will move mountains to more than likely take care of you with what he got. That's just what it boils down to. We all want, need, and have to have that respect. Now, when you look at respect versus love, love says, I care about you. I want to see that you're okay. I want to see that you're doing fine. I want to understand that you are right mentally in your head. Like, I want to be sure that you are okay. But respect says, I value you. Imagine hearing a woman saying that to a man, and imagine that man's response and what he would do. He would get out here in the cold and snow blow that whole entire driveway and probably the neighbor's driveway across the street. But all of this, ladies, that I'm talking about is things that you are basically saying in the convenience of your home. This isn't even something that you have to publicly say out in public in front of people and take your family business outside. This is like this is within the house, within the walls of your home. So nobody will ever know whether you do or don't. But if you can do this within your home, imagine of the less of the stress that you have to have, because now that man is not stressing, he's happier. He wants to make more, provide more, and the family is taken care of. That's the way that I just see that, if it can pan out this way. But a man can feel loved but still disrespected, and in that space, resentment begins to grow, cheating begins to occur at some point. Because, ladies, what you are not willing to do not be surprised if that man found or ran into someone who is giving them the attention and the value that they need, and they turn around and wonder, why am I with you? Think about it. We have to understand each other, and I can't speak to the woman's side because I'm not a woman, but speaking from the man's side and what men are looking for, I can definitely speak to, because I'm a man, and I really want this to reach the brothers out there, so that as they are vetting the ladies that they're dealing with, that they are definitely picking the one that they are supposed to pick and that they should pick, that's going to respect them and love them. It's just as simple as that, people. Now, If this is the done right or wrong, either way it goes, that ripple effect of disrespect could continue, because a disrespected man will struggle to lead. He's not going to feel comfortable. That household is going to be tore all up. It's not going to go the way that you all think it should. And he begins to withdraw. He hardens up, or he is going to fight back, and he's going to fight back hard. Fight back hard in a way that he's going to take his stuff. He's going to be out the door and on to the next. I want you all to strategically pay attention as you're looking at this and reevaluating this. Disrespect don't just hurt him, it fractures the whole entire home. Cracks start happening in the foundation. The relationship begins to just totally get decimated, and legacies are not even created or broken at all. Do we want to move on to be able to get with someone who shows you respect, fellas, so that you can continue your legacy? Because it's not, I don't believe that slogan, a happy wife, a happy life. It needs to be a happy family, a happy life. Because both the man and the woman need to be happy, as well as the family, the children, so that it could evolve into a happy household. If the focus and attention is only on making the wife happy and nobody looks at the happiness of the husband, that is a problem. And I'm tired of that slogan being used in ways that doesn't even talk about or care about what how the man is supposed to feel. You got to get rid of that, because here's the thing, ladies, you got to get the ladies, it's your job to make sure that your husband is happy. Fellas, it's your job to make sure that the wife is happy, and it's both of you all's responsibility to make sure that the children in the household is family, your residence, your address is happy. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But I really want you all to really think about this wholeheartedly and hard. I'm not just going hard on the women. The purpose of this series is to go hard on the men and show what the men are going through, so that I, along with other men in this space, could say things, build things, construct things to help better the men, putting this kind of content out there so the women can see and say, you know what, if I want a good man and I want a father for my children, and I want to build a family and grow a foundation, I want to, like, what do I need to do introspectively? That's what I want to create. This positive based content like this. But ladies, hear me out with this. Respect isn't about ego. It's about recognition. And families will continue to thrive when the men are honored for their role. And it's not just on Father's Day. That's probably when most men get the most respect. But I'm talking about 24/7, 365. Because communities grow when men are respected as leaders and protectors. And if the men are good, they're going to make sure the woman is good by default. But if you didn't learn anything else in this episode today, what I want you to reflect back on is that for a man, respect is oxygen to him. And without it, he's going to begin to suffocate. With it, he breathes in the life into his family, his work, his future, his legacy, his foundation, his household, his address. The real question is, are we giving men the respect that they need to rise, or are we starving them of the very air that keeps them alive? So I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. I have some more coming out to you all, so we're definitely going to be getting into it and talking about it. But I want you all to really consider this, think about it, have the conversations, we're round table with family and for friends. Listen, people, these videos are meant to empower the men to make them better versions of themselves so they are right for somebody's daughter down the line. Well, what father is going to release his daughter in marriage to a man that is unfit to be a husband if they so choose to go down that path? Let's go ahead and set this foundation. I need you all's help. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get the latest and greatest episodes. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. And people, till then, see you next time.